Why can't everyone hear the guides?
Because not everyone is ready. Let's talk about priorities. A person thinks he wants to grow spiritually. He sometimes reads literature and thinks about it. Occasionally, he even meditates. Or attends a seminar on spiritual growth. Does he practice regularly? If the answer is no, then spiritual growth is a low priority. So, a simple piece of advice: be completely honest with yourself, set your priorities. Modern people get lost in an abundance of information. Everything is interesting to them. Will they have enough personal resources for everything? Most likely not. You need to decide what is most important and focus on that. You have an abundance of information about intention. But do you have a clear understanding of what it is? Your computational power is limited. By midlife, most people have exhausted the resources of their inner space. You call this a midlife crisis. What's inside you? Do you truly feel the value of what you are accumulating? Do you feel tired? If yes, then you lack resources. Extra resources are not a problem. But they will be wasted again on the wrong things. Extra resources are given infrequently and only for useful purposes. Because you need to learn to use what is available rationally. How to use available resources rationally. Review what you have been chaotically accumulating for half your life. Yes, the recapitulation from Castaneda. We fully understand that the books of the Master of Hallucinations in the Chaparral do not suit everyone. However, apply the new understanding we have given you to his teaching. Clear the space allocated to you on the server from unnecessary information. To track the thought processes that you unconsciously start every day, we previously gave you the simplest technique of writing down negative thoughts. Separately, let's talk about evaluative thinking. So, what is intention? It's the setting of priority tasks. If the task is a priority and resources are limited, it means all resources go to the priority task. If you plan to meditate in the evening but downloaded an interesting series and decided not to meditate today, you prioritized entertainment. The more priority tasks you set, the slower the process goes. You spend resources on everything. Good results in spiritual growth are achieved by those who honestly set it as a priority. Remember, an intention aimed at achieving earthly goods may not work. This is because you have other tasks for this incarnation that you can't remember. But the intention to grow spiritually is always encouraged. Even if you still have many earthly tasks, you will be helped to feel the world more deeply and receive hints. You may not hear the guides, but you will feel their care. Cleaning the inner space is quite long and painstaking. But it is an important part of the process of creating yourself. You need to manually sort through the accumulated. The grains of yourself are woven into life experience. You will notice that there are few valuable insights about life that help you grow. The rest is empty rock from which you have already extracted the precious gems. Often a person is connected to past experiences by emotions. You need to find the strength to dissolve these connections. Clear the space for new. Many who know and can hear the guides have simply done all this work. It could have taken many years. Those who have read Castaneda remember that a warrior ready for the journey to eternity is able to connect to large bands of the universe's emanations and use them to realize his intention. Not quite clear. What if we put this way: everyone who has cleared their inner space and has the intention to receive messages gets additional resources for this. Before the stage of messages to the world, a person may go through a long period of personal consultations with the guides. The individual work on unresolved problems and tasks continues. Connecting to additional resources is rational only with people who have achieved high dynamic stability resilience. Otherwise, it can end in mental disorder. There are also channelers whose abilities are open from birth. This is their mission in the current incarnation. It may mean that they have already accumulated enough experience in past lives, and now they have come to help. Others try to take on many tasks in the current incarnation, hoping to deal with earthly lessons while also managing to help deliver messages to people. Such channels do not always manage to solve their earthly tasks. The universal radio captivates them. Instead of working with everyday reality, they spend a lot of time working with higher levels. You could say they serve the world, but sometimes forget to take care of themselves. However, the plan for purely earthly tasks in the incarnation must also be fulfilled.
We wanted to talk about evaluative thinking.
Search for list of polarities. Among people, the following are popular: poverty and wealth, white and black, God and devil, future and past, greatness and insignificance, war and peace, good and evil, others are right and I am right, life and death, illusion and reality, beauty and ugliness, love and hate, bad and good, truth and falsehood, joy and sorrow, happiness and grief. Review the extended list as well. To which of these are you particularly attached? What underlies a world with sharply defined duality? Diversity from plus to minus infinity. What lies between these polarities? A multitude of intermediate values. What is exactly in the middle, at point zero? The possibility of a quantum leap in consciousness. Your ticket out. Most people fluctuate daily from one polarity to another. They spend all their energy on this. Fluctuating between polarities is not the task of the Earth Project. The task is to study and understand them up close, and then stop at point zero. This is the absence of evaluative thinking. It's important to note that there are people who spend their entire lives at point zero. For example, a monk who has diligently meditated in a monastery all his life but knows nothing about life. He ignored available experiences, fearing to get dirty. Such individuals leave here with minimal results. They did not take full advantage of their opportunities for learning. We do not urge you to plunge into extremes. Each person should control their degree of immersion in the worlds of duality. However, try to observe what happens here as attentively as possible. Look at the world around you without turning away. But detach yourself, do not judge. Observe, but do not get involved. This will give you a broader understanding. You could say that your crystal of experience will have more facets. The 0 point between polarities is trust in the plan, trust in the process of your spiritual growth. Everything that happens to you is an invitation to become better, to gain new understanding. Most people cling to the good, not realizing that it does not contribute to their growth, and run away from the bad, even though it is precisely the bad that can prompt rapid development. The deeper your understanding and acceptance of what is happening here, the gentler the lessons you are given. Some people go through difficulties firsthand. You, however, can simply observe such a person carefully and think about how you would act. What would you feel? Remember the saying that wise people learn from the mistakes of others? It's important to note that jumping between polarities prevents any priority from being effective. A person simply moves aimlessly throughout life and wastes themselves in vain.